Something that can happen with your bobbin case is you can get a wad of thread in it. And let's see if I can do this. This is where your bobbin's sitting in here. Your thread comes in here. It goes through this groove and out. And lint can collect in this groove. It can collect in the groove where your thread actually goes. And right here is just a little ball of lint that came out through this part of the groove when I was cleaning it out, and my bobbin case looked like it was in pretty good condition. This is actually a bobbin holder since it's a drop-in bobbin. And one thing to do is you can clean it out by making sure you have a good lint brush for your machine and getting those little bits of your bristles down in that crack and pulling it out. And there, I finally popped that sucker out of there. And you see I'm still getting some lint out of there. If you go a long time without cleaning out your bobbin case, that stuff can actually wedge your tension tighter and tighter if it's in this back part of the groove here where it's black before you get to the silver. Trying to keep it where it's focused well. If lint gets in here where the thread runs, it can make your tension looser because it's pushing against the spring. And you remember, you can tighten or loosen your tension. I don't have good light here. Hold on. Hey, there we go. This is the screw they talk about when you need to loosen or tighten your bobbin tension. Typically, you don't mess with this unless you're using some very different thread. And I suggest you have a second bobbin case before you start messing with it, so that you have one bobbin case that you mess with and one that's set by your technician or at the factory. I'm not suggesting that you disassemble this. Please don't disassemble this. The screws are teeny tiny. You will lose them. But just make sure that you can get your bristles in there and really clean that sucker out. You can also, and I'm going to get a big piece of thread here and see if I can do this while I'm holding it and running the camera, what I call floss the bobbin holder. Let's see if I can get this up here without my thumb in the way. And I'm just running a piece of thread through here, just like if I had a bobbin in here in my machine. But this way I can see it a little bit better, and I can run the thread back through here a little bit more. And then I can also pull it out this way. And do you see that little piece of lint? I don't know if I can get it on the video. See that little piece of gray right here? That was not on my thread. That was in my bobbin case. And yes, this probably would not make a difference in my stitching. But if I was stitching a lot and not maintaining my machine well, and also if I was using some cheap linty thread, and there are some threads that are just linty even though they're quality threads. Your cotton threads are going to have more lint than your polyester most of the time. Anyway, so there's a great way to do some very delicate cleaning of your bobbin case. Typically a vertical bobbin doesn't need as much cleaning as this type of case, just because of the way that it's in there, but that also applies. You always want to make sure any place where your thread's passing is free of lint. This is why when you have thread issues, people will tell you, rethread your machine. And I know people get angry because they say, I've got my thread, my machine threaded properly. And well, sometimes a bit of lint gets in there and messes with the tension. And rethreading it cleans that lint out. So even though you'd swear that you had it cleaned out, sometimes it's just not so. Cleaned out and threaded properly. Sometimes there's still something that needs to come out. So it's just something to do and help, especially if you've been stitching along great and all of a sudden it goes haywire. Rethread your machine in between projects, clean it out. Don't use canned air to blow into your machine. That just runs it down into the gears and the shafts that actually make your machine go. I have seen machines that have absolutely frozen up because of wads of lint in the machine. Don't do that, but Do your best to keep your machine clean and you'll stitch better every time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.